everybody. Welcome to our special edition of Global Mobilization Consultation 2013, and we're going to cover a little bit of what our different speakers and our subjects that we are going to cover. This time, the thing is dynamic momentum, and we are so honored and privileged to have Steve Shadrach to be with us. Steve Shadrach is now the ambassador of VIA Nations. We used to know VIA as Center for Mission Mobilization. Steve, hi, welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Great to be with you. I'm excited about this consultation.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your involvement with GMM or GMC, even start from the very beginning.
Well, it was a concept that we talked about probably starting back in about 2010, and then in about 2012, we said let's form this network, Global Mobilization Network, and let's bring the whole tribe together. Hopefully every other year. Let's call it GMC, Global Mobilization Consultation. We had the first one in Surabaya, Indonesia. It was a great time that we had there, and it was just to get that tribe together. I don't know how many countries we had represented, but there were probably at least 200 mission mobilizers there from a number of different countries. And so the next one was in Nairobi, Kenya, and that's probably, maybe got up to 250 or 300 from all countries around, and a lot of African representations. And then went to Dubai, and well over 300 from 30, 40 different countries, frontier mobilizers. And then, of course, we were in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the last one. And I think we may have had, my numbers are probably a little off here, but maybe close to 400 from over 40 countries to get together to talk, to pray, to strategize, to train, to build networks. And of course, we had to take time off for COVID, and so we haven't met for a while. So this is a reunion of sorts of a lot of the frontier mission mobilizers around the world, and it's going to be a powerful time.
Excellent. I've been involved with GMC and GMN since 2016. So I was there in Dubai, and after that it was Sao Paulo, and it was great to see you in all this, actually. And so what is the specific subject you are going to cover this time, and you want to share with our tribe, the so-called the global mobilization community?
Well, I've been assigned a fairly broad topic, Ray, mobilization of all God's people, and so I'm still thinking and praying about where to take that and what to do with that. I think the basic theme of the conference is country by country. How can we serve the body of Christ in each country to raise up and send their own missionaries to the unreached? We think that's how we're going to fulfill the Great Commission, is that when the body of Christ in each country applies Acts 1:8, that they're going to raise up and send workers to the uttermost parts, that's how we're going to finish the Great Commission, where so many of these countries around the world that are so much closer to the unreached, that they can take personal responsibility for identifying missionaries, training, getting them funded, getting them sent, formed into teams, coaching them. But let's focus those teams on the truly unreached areas of the world, those unreached people groups. And many of them are within close proximity to the countries and the leaders, the mobilizers that will be coming to this consultation.
Yeah, that's excellent. And so why is it still important or relevant to mission mobilization today? Why it is still matters? Why it is still important?
Well, we've had the Great Commission for over 2,000 years now. Americans, we think we can accomplish everything, that entrepreneur spirit, that we, and yet here we are, some estimate that we still have maybe close to 3 billion people, cut off from the gospel. So, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expect different results, that's what some people call insanity. And so I think we've got to think outside the box and look at this mandate that Jesus has given us differently. And so we have to help the body of Christ understand the difference between missions and mobilization. And so I think that we better, country by country, be very careful Should we be sending missionaries to this country, or should we be sending mobilizers to this country? You get that mixed up, you're going to actually do more harm than good. That's why that mobilization index that we've created has real value to it. It helps Christian mission agencies and leaders around the world make that decision, that discernment, country by country. Should we be sending missionaries or mobilizers? And so these countries that have large numbers of Christians to them, yes, we want to send mobilizers there. We want to raise up mobilizers. They really don't need more missionaries. They need to be transform their thinking from being a mission field to being a missions force. And so, but there are a lot of pieces to that process, Ray. I mean, how do you identify the missionaries? How do you vet the missionaries? How do you train them? How do you form the teams? Is there a good agency in that country? Do they need to form their own indigenous agency? What countries should they be sending them to? What people groups? How do you make that decision? How do they get them funded? How do you keep them on the field? How are they going to plant the churches they need? So there's all kinds of pieces along that pipeline that are very complicated, and it's a God thing. And so that's what this conference is about. It's helping the national leaders, country by country, think through all the pieces of that pipeline where they can ultimately create a very effective pipeline into the unreached people groups by sending their own missionaries. You don't need to rely upon any other country anymore, but the body of Christ in our country. We've taken full personal responsibility for the Great Commission.
Thank you so very much. I think it's very important, but also at the same time, it's very challenging. I think that requires radical collaboration. That's why, global mobilization network and platforms such as this is very important and crucial. We're looking forward to see you in October in Chiang Mai, and we welcome everybody to join us. Have a good one, Jim.
This is your tribe.